All right. So I'm going to try to do Bella's aversive tool story. And also, if you use it to train, then who cares if you keep using it? You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird shit in society these days. They want to say, don't shame people for this and that. Like a lot of stuff that you should shame for, right? I think when your friends do it, it's okay. Let her have a little break. Anyways, so her story is we worked with her as a puppy, right? And they asked me about the prong collars, and at the time I was still trying to avoid any usage of aversive tools because of all the stuff they told me. Good girl, right? And but we put in a lot of foundation work, and I think when she was around 6 months, they asked about it, and they had a history with it before, with the dog before, so it wasn't like they were novice people with it. Ready? Let's go. I remembered yesterday that she's a right side walker. Good girl. So, anyways, at like 6 months, I was like, hey, you guys are experienced, so you probably could do it, right? But there are people that will put prong collars. There are trainers and they used to put prong collars on the dogs at 3-4 months old, right? And it didn't ruin the dogs like they tell you. This way. So, in other words, they probably could have went to it a lot sooner, but I was still in a good girl. I was still in my brain was, you gotta wait, right? Now I'm like, yeah, it's not that big a deal, right? So, anyways, where was I going? Oh, that's where I was going. So they started working with her on the prong collar, right? And it got a lot better, and then they went away from it. And I know this because they sent me a message again, like I don't know, a few months later. They're like, yeah, we put it on, got some stuff tightened up, and then we started just walking her on the collar, and then now she's back to the way she was, right, before the prong collar. And they didn't want to leave it on, I think, because people look at you funny when you have it on, right? When you have a prong collar on them. Come on. What are you on that side for? Good girl. She's like, because if I go to the wrong side and then fix myself, you give me food. How about if I just give you food when you do good? Good girl. Oh, crap. I can't get to my skirt. All right. So that's what I told him. I said, well, you just have to go back and redo your foundation work off of the collar, or put the collar on, put the prong collar on, and just walk her on the regular collar. So instead of just taking it off straight away when they're doing good, you transition off into not using it, but it's still there, and then after a while, then you take it off. At least that's what I was told. But how about just don't worry about what people say. If you're confident in your walk with a prong collar, where you're not, when you don't have the prong collar, you know what? Then leave it on. Most of the time, once you do 1 or 2 corrections on the prong collar, you don't really use it, hardly ever. Right? It's just there. Good girl. All right, so that was her story. So that's what I told him. I was like, well, you got to go back to foundation work. You might want to try putting the prong collar back on and doing your work on the regular collar, or you can switch from like the prong collar to the slip lead and then back to the collar, because sometimes going from the prong to the collar is too much of a change of communication. Whereas if you go from the prong collar to the slip lead, they're similar, and the slip lead is that bridge going back to the collar. So it seems like a lot of work, but that's what I have heard is the best way to get off it, because they won't change. A lot of times they won't change just like that. So if she's trying to go to your left side and you're trying to walk her on the right, you just keep moving. Good girl. All right, and we cut little inside turns. Good job. And then we go sit. And we'll take this off. Right? So when I walk her, okay. So when I walk her on her collar, she's like, so I put her on the slip lead so she doesn't kill me. I guess I could put her on the prong collar. I don't know if they put her back on the prong collar. So I'm not going back to it. I'm just going to this. It's whatever. It's whatever, right? What's up, girl? Oh, the balls are over there. Come on. Right? So if you train with it and it makes you confident and your walks are good, then why get rid of it? Like at first, when I first started using them, right? So my transition was, I went from, well, if you learn how to use them right, then who cares, right? But I'm not going to use them. And then now it's like, you know, if the dog needs it and then the people need it. Because I went from anti to, well, there's times when they're necessary, right? And then I saw quite a few times. It's like, dude, this could have went a lot faster if we would have went to a tool. So why drag it along if you don't have to, right? Why drag it out if you don't have to? You just have to put in foundation stuff. I think I've started going in circles. That's because I'm hungry. I mean, I'm bad enough at it doing that anyways. I don't think I want you killing that. Dude, do the fat part. Chew on the fat part, not on the handle part. So what was I saying? If you use it, it makes you feel good, confident, safe, all that kind of stuff. Then who cares if you use it? Why are we also worried about, one, why are we worried about what other people are saying, right? Other people that you don't know, who cares what they said? They don't know nothing. And then the other part is, why are you saying something? Leave people alone, dude. If you see somebody, obviously the dog looks fine and the people look fine, shut your mouth. Leave people alone. That's what I say. Anyways, circles. I think I hit my points. Right? Is that my points? Leave people alone. If you did it, so what? Right? If you use them, so what? So what? That's it. That's my message. So what? If the dog's happy that people are happy, then so what?